Hello everyone. As part of the Postgres series that we have started using the DVD rental database tables, we will begin exploring how to join two or more tables together. And this is where the join clause comes in. Why do we need to join tables together? Or what does join does in SQL? Okay, there are so many times that your boss will require you to provide him or her with some data or some information, but you will quickly realize that this data or information cannot be found in one table. So what that means is that you will have to join two or more tables together for you to reach your goal. That is, for you to get the desired results. Okay, now how do we do that? So that means that join is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them. Take note of what I just said. Join is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column. Take note of that keyword right there. Related column between them. Okay. Now, what do we mean by related column? Remember that in my last video, I explained to you what primary key and foreign keys are. Okay. So let us quickly take a look at this website where we have the entity relation diagram for the Postgres or for the DVD rental database tables that we are considering. Now, this is the link to the DVD rental database entity relation diagram. I'm going to be sharing this link with you guys in the description below. Okay, but let us quickly take a look at this. Remember that in the DVD rental database we have 15 tables. 15. In one way or the other, those tables are related to each other. You can have two tables related to each other. You can have three tables related to each other. Now let's quickly take a look at it just to have an understanding of what I'm talking about when I say that joins are used to join two or more tables of related columns together. Okay, now if you take a look at this category has category ID, and in this entity relation diagram you can see that it is related to film category. How is it related? You can see film category also has category ID. So you have category ID column, you also have category ID column right here. That tells you that these two, they are related. And that what that means that they are related. That tells you that these two are related using this with this category ID. Okay, and that's why we say that joins, like I mentioned right here, joins is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them. Okay, so that means there is a related column between there is a related column right between category and film category, and that column is category ID. Take also an example. This film, this is the film table. This film table also has film ID, right? And we are told that it is related to, if you look at this line, it's related to inventory. How is it related to inventory? You can see that there is a film ID right here. There is also a film ID right here. Okay, take note that one of them is the primary key and one of them is the foreign key, right? In this case, this film ID right here is the primary key, because you would expect that in this film table, this film ID is going to be unique and it is not going to be repeatable. But this film ID right here is foreign because it's going to be repeatable. That means that this inventory is a child table to this film table, which is a parent table. I explained this to you in my previous video. If you have not watched my video where I explain primary key and foreign key, I will highly encourage you to go do that right now, even before you continue with this specific video. Okay, I will put the description to those two videos. I'll put the link to those two videos in the description below. Okay, let's quickly take another example. This is a film actor table. We have been told that it is related to the actor table. How is it related? Let us look at what column makes them to be related. Look at this. This is an actor ID column. This is also an actor ID column. That tells you that these two, they are related. Okay, you can also explore, take a look at this entity relation diagram also for you also to make sure that you understand what I am talking about right here. Look at other tables, look at how they are related. Take for example this payment table. We are told that it is related to this customer table. How? Look at this customer table as customer ID, right? This payment table also has what? As customer ID. Do you get that right now? You see they are related with this column makes them to be related, this customer ID column. Okay, very good, guys. So now let us continue with what we are talking about. Now we've established that join is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them, right? Now there are so many types of joins depending on what you want in your desired result, in your displayed result or your outcome. Okay, that is what is going to determine the type of join you are going to use. Okay, however, in this video we are going to be looking at one type of join right now, and then in the next subsequent videos we are going to be dissecting the other types of joins. We are going to be treating each join in each video. Okay, now but in this video we are going to be going straight into inner join. What do we mean by inner join? An inner join would return records or rows that have matching keys or that have matching values in both tables. What does that mean? That means when you are trying to join two tables together, take for example you have table A and you have table B. Okay, so if this is table A, this is table B. Remember, we just established that joining for the join clause helps us to join two or more tables of related that has related columns, right? Or using the related columns. So that means that table A and table B, they need to have a related column. That means that there should be a column in table A that is also similar to a column in table B. Now, where does the inner join comes in? They need to have, those columns need to have matching keys. It is those ones that have matching keys that will be returned, that we are going to get the result. Okay, it needs to match, and that is why we have this center. The result, the display, the resulting table will be what is common in, or what matches in both table A and table B. Okay, it is going to exclude unmatched rows and only return for you matched rows. Okay, that means that rows that are common between this table B and table A using that related column. Okay, that is what is going to return. This table A is basically your left table. Table B, take it as your right table. So whatever they have in common is what is going to be returned, and that is why I shaded this place, because we are interested in that inner part, that middle part, what this and this have in common. Don't worry, an example will make you to really understand what we are talking about right here. Take for example, we have a customer table, okay, and also we have a rental table. How can we join both of these tables? Let us take a look. This is the customer table right here. This is the rental table. And remember, we have already talked about primary key. So for customer table, this is the primary key. Customer ID is the primary key. And we already know that a primary key is unique and it is non-null, right? As you can see, this is unique. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but if you look at this rental table, it also has a customer ID column, right? Now, what does that mean right here? You can see that this customer ID column right here, this is repeatable. You have how many fours? 3 fours. 1, 2, 3. 3 fours, right? This is repeatable. That means that this customer ID in this rental table is a foreign key. while this one is a primary key. Okay, so these two columns, customer ID here and this customer ID here, they are the related columns upon which we are going to be using to join these two tables. So I'm joining using the primary key and the foreign key right here. Okay, now I hope you understand that right now. Now, when we are now talking about inner join, now inner join now means that, like I mentioned right here, that it returns rows that have matching keys in both tables. So what that means right now is, because we are joining using the customer ID column, now the next thing is you have to look at it that which of this customer ID column do I have in both tables. It is those ones that are matched, that is, that I have in both tables, that will be returned. Okay, now let us look at this resulting table. How are we able to get this resulting table from these two tables? Let us take a look. There is a customer ID 1 right here. There is also a customer ID 1 right here. You see that, guys? So what are we going to do in that case? That means that we are going to write out these ones right here, which is customer ID 1, Mary is the first name, Smith is the last name. Then you also come to this customer ID 1 right here. Remember that it has to be what you have here and what you have here in terms of this column that we are using, this customer ID column. Okay, so in this case now you have what? The rental ID is 26. You can see the customer ID, you can see it is also 1, just like this one 1, and then the inventory is what? 2346. Can you see that right now, guys? You can see that that is easy. Okay, now if we go to the second one, the second one is customer ID 2. Do we have a customer ID with 2 here? No, we don't have customer ID 2 right here. Because we don't have that right there, that is going to be excluded in our desired result. You can see it's not going to be in our displayed result. That's why you don't see customer ID 2 right here. However, let us go to customer ID 3. Do we have customer ID 3 right here? Yes, we also have it. Take note, that is what inner join does. It's going to return for you what you have here and what you have here based on that related column. You can see because we have customer ID 3 here and customer ID 3 here. That means I'm going to come here. I'll first of all say customer ID 3, Victor Gibson, right? Then this is the customer. Remember, we are joining. Then it's going to give me what here? 27, 3 as the customer ID, and then 2294. Do you understand that right now? If you also look at the next one, 4, customer ID 4. Do we have a 4 here? We also have a 4 here, right? So in that case, it's going to give me this guy right here, Thelma Murray. So Thelma Murray, but we have customer ID 4 3 times here, right? So it's going to give me this first one. You can see 24, 4, and 1525, right? Then it comes again, gives you another Thelma Murray, because we have Thelma Murray 3 times here, and then it's going to give you the next one, 25, 4, and 2452. Okay, then it's going to give you another Thelma Murray, because we have the third one right here, which is going to give you 28, 4, and 2346. It's going to give you those columns right there. I hope you understand that right now. However, when we get to customer ID 5, you can see that customer ID 5, we have it here, but we don't have it right here, right? That means there is no match between this particular value. Therefore, we don't get anything for customer ID 5 right here. Can you see that right now, guys? Because you have excluded that, and that is what inner join does. Inner join is going to return for you what is common in these two tables, these two columns that are related. Okay, because we are talking about this related column. So now any of the values that are matched that you have here and also you have here, then it's going to return their rows right here for you. I hope you understand that now, guys. Okay, now how do we now write such query to be able to do this. How do we write the syntax? Let us see how to really do this in practice by going to our PG admin. Okay, now let's go to PG admin, guys. Now I have PG admin right here. So in this case, let's say you have been asked if you can, let's say your boss tells you that, can you get me the names of our customers, the rental ID of their rentals, and the associated inventory ID. Also ensure to include the customer ID as part of the table. If you really look at this very well, if your boss wants you to list the names of your customers, how do you really know where to go? All you have to do is, because it needs the names of the customers, go to the customer table, take a look. So that is how you're going to know which table you are going to be joining. This customer, we have customer names right here in customer table. Okay, very good. And then they said the rental ID. But if you look at this customer table, we don't have customer ID right here. Where can we get customer ID? We can get where can we get the rental ID? Because if you look at it, we don't have the rental ID right here. But we can get the rental ID if you go to the rental table. You see, rental table has rental ID. Do you get that now, guys? Okay. And then it said the associated inventory ID. You see that the rental table also has the inventory ID. Okay. And it says that also ensure to include the customer ID. Where can we get the customer ID? We can also get the customer ID in the customer table. Okay. So what that means is that for me to be able to do what my boss has asked me, I will need to join customer table and the rental table. Okay. And then the next thing you are going to then do is, how do you know what to join them with? And that is where, if you look at this, there is a customer ID right here in our customer table. There is also a customer ID right here in our rental table. This is a foreign key in the rental table, while in the customer table you have the customer ID. Okay, now let us see how to write this query, guys. So in the case of this, we are going to have select. Remember that we want to return customers name and their customer ID and the rental ID and the inventory ID. So I will first of all say select customer ID. I can do that. Okay. And then, okay, if I say select customer ID, in my customer table, I also have first name, right? So I will say first name. Then I will say last name. Take note of that, guys. Where are we getting this from? From the customer table. Let us run this first, guys, from the customer table. Very good. You can see that we have the customer ID, the first name, and the last name. You can also see here that we have been told that the customer ID right here is your primary key. Okay, now so we already also established that also in our rental table that there is also a customer ID right here, and we also know that this customer ID is a foreign key right here. We can also know that right here. Let's quickly do something also. Let's do select star from the rental table. Select star from the rental table. To run this query, I will highlight it and then I'll click execute. Very good. You can see here that we also have customer ID right here. We are only running the rental table right now. You can see that rental ID is primary key here, but customer ID is not primary key, therefore it is foreign key. Okay, now let me delete this guy right here. Now if I rerun this again, we know that we have customer ID, first name and last name, right? And also take note, we want to join this with the rental table. How do we do that? And remember, we just said we want to use inner join because we want to bring back what is in the customer table and what is also in the renter table that have matching keys, okay, that have matching values of the customer ID. Okay, so now I will say inner join. Okay, now if you say inner join what table are you joining it with? I want to join it with the renter table. Okay, now if you just do it this way and you run it, you are going to have an error because you need to specify which columns are you joining. Okay, take a look at what if I run this now. You see there is an error because I've not completed what I need to do. I need to specify on which column that you want to join. Remember we said that joins helps you to, it returns rows for you based on you're joining on related columns, right? So now what is the related column right here? We know that our related column is the customer ID, right? So but in this case, how do you write it? Remember that you have customer ID in the customer column, this customer table, right? You have the customer ID in this customer table. So you first of all say customer dot customer ID. This is the customer table and this is the column that you are trying to use to join. Okay, then you say equals to the name of the second table, which is your rental table, which is on the right. Then you put period, then you put customer ID as well, because the name of the table, the name of the column in this table, in this rental table, is also called customer ID. It is also called customer ID in this table. So what you are now saying right here is that you want to get these columns from the customer table. Also, I want to join this customer table using inner join to the rental table, using these columns as the related columns, that is the column in the customer table and this customer ID column in this rental table. Okay, let us run this. Let us see what we get, guys. Now, what I did right here was just to show you something right here. You can see that we have an error. Do you know what caused this error? Let us go to that error section, or let us go to where the error is displayed. It said column reference customer ID is ambiguous. What do you think that means? What that simply means is that this customer ID, this SQL server, this PostgreSQL server does not know which customer ID you are referring to here. Why? Because we have customer ID in both customer table and rental table. Okay, and that is why if you have such situation, if you have the same name, the same column name in both tables, you have to specify which table you are talking about right here. So because of that, I am going to say customer table, then I'll put a period. So now I'm talking about customer ID in this customer table. Okay, and then I will run it now, guys. Now you can see that I have run this. Now you can see that what I have returned right here, they are the rows that have the same customer ID in both this customer table and this rental table. How do we confirm that? Also remember one thing, that we said that we want to also return inventory ID. Okay, also we want to return the rental ID. So because of that, let us go ahead and also include rental ID, because now we have joined it. You have joined these two tables, right? So because of that, we can also get the columns in this rental table. So I will say rental ID. Okay, then we will say inventory ID. Okay, now one thing I also want to show right here, guys, is this customer ID. Remember that we also have customer ID in the rental table. So because of that, I will also come right here. Let me just put this here by the side so that you guys can really see what we are talking about. So there is a customer ID in customer, there is also a customer ID in renter. So you need to put the name of that table where this customer ID is coming from. And this is because the customer ID, you have it in both tables. Okay, now it's good to give this an alias. Okay, I'll give this alias. Let me just put this right here because of time. So I will use this alias right here, and this alias, I'm only doing this because I'm saying I'm only putting it this way by saying customer table, customer ID. You can give it any alias name that you want, it doesn't matter. But for me, I'm just trying to differentiate between the customer ID that comes from the customer table and the one that comes from the rental table, and that is why I gave it this name. In your case, you can give it any name, it doesn't matter. Okay, now if we rerun this right now, you will see that I'm going to have this column, and also I'm going to have this column, and they will have the same ID right there. All right, guys, you can see now that we have run this, and you can see that we have returned these values. If you look at this, you have customer ID from the customer table, customer ID from the rental table. You can see that they are all the same thing. They are all 333, 333, 222, 222. So in this case, you can see that the only things we are returning here are the matching rows or the matching values. This value and this value must be equal to this value for us to return the other columns, right? You can see that right here, guys. You can see they must have matching values, and then it's going to exclude those ones that do not have matching values. It's not going to return those for us. One thing I also like to say right here is that if you omit this join, this inner right there, if you omit that inner and then you just say join, this also is going to take it as inner join. You can see that the number of rows we have right here is 16044, 16044. If I run this, we should still see the same thing. Very good, it has run. You can see 16044. So either you put inner join or you just say join, it means the same thing. But for me, I like to put inner join, so that I like to put the word inner, so that anybody that sees it really understands what we are talking about right here. I hope you guys understand now what an inner join is. Okay, I would encourage you also practice some more, because it is when you practice that you get better at all these things. Okay, now if you are new on this channel and you find this information valuable, or this teaching, I highly encourage you to please subscribe to our channel and click on the bell so that you can be notified whenever we release any of our videos. And if you have not watched the previous videos, I will highly encourage you to go back from the beginning, because this is a series. Okay, we want to bring it from the absolute beginner to an advanced level, right? So that you can move quickly from 0 to an hero level. Okay, and please don't forget to comment, like, and help us to share these videos so that more people can benefit from it. All right, guys, thank you. I'll see you in the next class.